Hi.
Hey now.
All set.
I know. That's not very old.
No. It's like
Guys
50,
are good to
50.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was on.
You ready? All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Is there anybody out in the safer world? Any public comment? Must be not.
That's unusual.
I'm gonna assume no, not for this meeting. All right, so can I get an approval of the minutes of last September 11th?
Make a motion. And I second that.
Do you second or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we. So the minutes have been approved. I'll say, in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Railroad development. Do we have any updates on that at all?
Is it on here?
No, but I know we talked about last week.
Yeah.
But
No, we're still
Nothing.
looking,
Still
trying to
working.
work through that. Yep.
is there anything that you have that you'd like to discuss besides the bills?
I don't have anything. I think Dan might have something we talked about a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
Paul and I talked about kind of the value of the old patrol car. And looking online at used police vehicles, they're running $8,000 to $10,000. Since the fire department would like, fire chief would like to buy it for the fire department. So basically, once it gets stripped of the equipment that is at the outfitters right now, I thought maybe we can work with the fire chief and the fire board to come up with a reasonable amount. And sell it to them since he's interested in purchasing it for the fire department.
That makes sense to me.
So, I thought maybe it'd be a little more value, but I guess pickup trucks are the ones with the big value right now. Where Ford Explorer, police vehicles, not so much.
I think that's still pretty good
Yeah, it's not bad.
compared to
you
what
know.
we used to sell them for.
Right, and right now I think it has about 114,000 miles on it, maybe somewhere around there, but that's on the odometer. That's not including the hours on the clock for idle time, which might even add another 25,000 miles to it. So it's still a work in progress. So we'll see what we can come up with. Which if we do get 8,000 to 10,000, that'll help offset some of the expenses for the new equipment that's going in the new patrol car. So those bills are starting to roll in a little bit.
You're having the secondary vehicle restriped as well, right?
Yes.
To match the new one.
Yeah, so once this patrol car comes back, then we'll look at getting the other car restriped so that they're both the same. Restriping the car probably be about $500 because they have to take off the old lettering and put on the new striping and so on.
The advantage is though, we know what that car's like when you're going to buy a new one, you don't really know the history so much.
Right.
That's really nice.
And, we were trying to replace the vehicles every 10 years. But the way that the price of those keep going up. So from the 17 to the 23, it went up $16,000. So
Wow,
how much is it gonna go up in another 5 years?
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, and if the unions get what they want, where 32-hour work week and then 40% increase, I don't know how much patrol cars are gonna cost in the future. Hard to say.
Is there anything that you have that for us at all? Or anyway, okay. Do you guys have any questions on any of this or?
What's that?
Spend all the money, that's nothing.
Got the trees planted.
Yes, trees are planted.
Right, well, if there's nothing else that we can, is there anything else that you can think of that have questions or
Well, the other thing I could go over is the parking lot. I did have a call today. If you guys want to update on
Oh, okay.
what we got going on there.
Repaving.
Well, we are repaving 2 parking lots right now in town.
Oh, we're talking about the school parking.
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
So if you, that side over there is Woodhull.
Mhm.
As you come up to that stop sign, there's like a little bump out.
Yep.
Right there. They didn't show taking that out, so I asked them to remove that, and do some recalculations there for green space and whatnot. Our zoning ordinance requires like trees and green space and stuff like that. And the school had several of those, completely concrete, like the bump outs in the middle of the parking lot. But, I'm just gonna push that we go with a green space because it's in our ordinance A and B. Like, we want some trees in there because it really does help save the pavement. And then on that corner, we want to put a sign. So I asked them to just like not landscape that or do anything with it so that when we do that sign, that we can landscape ourselves. That'll just be part of that project.
Okay.
So, and again, none of this has went by the school yet. This is just. They emailed this, asked us for comments. I sent it to our engineers. Cause I want them to look at drainage and things that I don't know anything about. I mean. But, we kind of got together with Kebs today with our engineers and me and went through some of these issues. So, they had the fence. Like in there, just a regular 5-foot fence. I said they're all standard 6 foot, so in our ordinance says 6 foot. So, told them I wanted a white 6-foot fence like all of our other ones. So, I mean, as long as we have time, I mean, we need to get this how we want it.
Right.
And so I went through it and, the other thing I talked to Dave a little bit about this afternoon was looking at that sidewalk on Woodhull. Cause they're already gonna replace a big portion of it on Grand River, but if that sidewalk isn't great on Woodhull, it's now the time to probably fix, or at least the section from the stop sign to the end of the property. And we don't have to go on to the other end, but, because some of the spots where the drives are gonna come through are gonna have to be reported anyway, cause they have to be 6 inches instead of 4. And maybe with school buses, we want even more than 6 inches. So we don't want those buses, that just constant bus traffic driving over a sidewalk. You know, cause they're not necessarily a drive approach sidewalk right now, so I did bring that up today. And then the other suggestion I had was in the middle here, they have one like large, institutional, I would call it, light pole, like big tall light pole with a light. And I suggested that maybe we can put our decorative ones in there. Like that we have downtown, so that, I mean, we're trying to do a little placemaking with the parking lot, so. I
To
thought,
match the other ones.
yeah, I thought maybe that would soften it and that we could put, maybe we could put some trees in the right of way over here. If the school doesn't want to have to be responsible for them, we could do some trees, you know, but there are landscaping plans through the zoning ordinance require trees. Like 8 or I don't know, 3 trees or something for every 8 parking spaces, or I don't know, some number, 1 tree for every 8, something like that. Anyways, it's like 5 or 6 trees. This should be planted in the area. And all that stuff kind of just helps with the green space and the drainage and the, just the way it looks, you know, we don't want to, when we had a storage unit there that looked bad, but we don't need just a parking lot, right?
Yeah.
So.
Especially because that's our 4 corners that people come up to.
Right, we're hoping to put a nice sign there that says, you know, welcome to Langsburg, you know, and so I think we want it to look nice, and so. And most of this information, you know, like we've talked about, it came from our meetings, we've said it. But for some reason, it didn't get into these plans. So, that, the school was not on the call today, Matt just told me to go ahead and meet with Kebs, and so that's what we did.
Do you feel like the communication is going a little better at all since the last?
I mean, I'm sending him what I have and,
Yeah.
he said, yeah, sure, go ahead and set up a meeting with Kevs. And I said, does anybody else want to be there? And I got nothing. So,
But it's not sent out to bid yet,
no,
and it's really, they understand that. So.
Yeah.
If we have opportunities to get a grant, is that still in their eyes is something we should do, or?
well, the grant that I wanted to use,
I know we did.
yeah, I just can't
If something else
now,
came up.
but if something else comes up, I mean, I don't see why we couldn't, because I think we'll have time. Even we can still move forward with getting it bid out and everything, and if a grant opportunity comes up that's quick like that, we probably could, try to apply, but we're gonna be looking at probably next spring. Constructing this, so unless something comes up that's really quick. Turn around for grant money, then, I don't know. So, but, so some of those things, we may have to bid, like, so the school has some things on here that they're bidding out separately, like some walkway work and stuff like that, and so I think parts of our end, maybe that sidewalk on Wood Hall and taking that bump out, out, and that would just be our cost, so we'll have to kind of look at that. But that's what I know about that.
I thought we had discussed about how a long time ago. Or
We did, but it didn't make it into these plans. And so when it was there still, I was like. That's not being removed. Cause I know Kevin was there when we talked about it, but
Yeah.
it just didn't make it into the plans, so. It will now, we're gonna get another set, so, but what do you guys think about our light pole? And
Yeah, I would agree that should be the ornamental.
I just think it would look nice.
I think it'd look different if it wasn't the same.
Yeah, I think we could. So, you just drive by these old parking lots and just got those big poles in them. That's the only light they have right now in there.
Mhm.
And actually, our engineers are really concerned about how tall it is and how far the light's gonna go. Or because in a residential district, you don't wanna be lighting up somebody's house. So our poles, we can direct those a little bit.
Correct. All the globes that I order now have what they call the down shield. It's
Yep.
got a metal ring at the top and forces the light down.
Yep, and they're LEDs and, I think that we can make that work. And then if there's not enough light for the school for safety purposes, then we'll have to look at it, but. I think, everybody on the call today seemed to be aware that I kind of wanted that. And I don't think they saw any issues with it, so. And then, like I said, if anybody asks, I did tell them they can't have cement in the school. Like those dividers in those need to be trees and grass, bushes, something, but, nobody wants to mow a little 4-foot strip. So we'll have to do some kind of landscaping there to make sure that, we're not causing that, and we don't even know who's maintaining it yet. You guys are the school staff, so. But I think that, you can tell them what we can, from all the stuff we already do, whether you want rocks or mulch or whatever you want.
No rocks.
No rocks.
So-
Somebody brought up rocks and, Adam goes, well, I don't know the school would want that either,
Anytime rocks go down within 5 years, you're pulling them.
so.
Who will be responsible for snow?
We haven't got that far yet. We'll have to enter into an agreement to take care of that, because the school does it and we do it, so. Maybe we'll take turns. That'll be between Dave and whoever's doing the school maintenance. But I think we should have an agreement regarding how those things are gonna work. Just because, boards change, people change,
Yeah.
positions, so I think that we should lay that out,
And
but
we generally work really well with the school maintenance department, so it will probably be a thing with whoever hits it first.
Because we got a new person coming in, right?
Yes.
but I think that, we should discuss that and just put it in writing how we're gonna handle it, and then everybody knows.
I would agree.
So that's my thought on that one.
Well, that's exciting.
So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, well. if There's nothing else. You can call the meeting. Adjourn.
All righty.